अन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपदा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So, we are on the 17th chapter of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila. And this is about the bodily transformations in the body of Lord Chaitanya. And we were reading very beautiful comparisons of Lord Krishna's attributes and his beauty to different things, and the feeling of separation that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling, and how it really resounded with the feelings of Radharani, the feeling of separation that Radharani had. So we'll continue our reading with verse 61 onwards today. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। So Uma Devi Mataji, you can start with 5 verses. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Shall I start, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, please start.
कहान गेले तुम्हापै तुम्ही कहा तहान यू ये एता कही चलीला धाना स्वरूप उती कोले करी प्रभु रे अनिला धरी निज स्थाने वसैला लेना. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Where shall I go? Where can I find you? Please tell me. I shall go there. Speaking in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began running But Swarupa Damodara Goswami stood up, caught him, and took him on his lap. Then Swarupa Damodara brought him back to his place and made him sit down. Text 62. क्षणे के प्रभुरा भया हैला स्वरूपे रे अग्ना दिला स्वरूपा की चुकरा मधुरा गाना स्वरूप गाया विद्यापति गीता गोविंद गीति सुनी प्रभुरा जुड़ैला काना. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Suddenly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to external consciousness and said to Swarupa Damodara Goswami, "My dear Swarupa, please sing some sweet songs." The Lord's ears were satisfied when he heard Swarupa Damodara sing songs from the Gita Govinda and those by the poet Vidyapati. Text 63. Eyi Mata Mahaprabhu Pratik Ratri Dene Anmada Chestita Haya Pralapa Vachane. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Each day and night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would become deranged in this way and talk like a madman. Text 64. Ekadine yataya bhaverat vikara sahasra mukhe varne yadi nahi paya para. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Even Anantadeva, who possesses thousands of mouths, cannot fully describe the ecstatic transformations that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced in a single day. Text 65. Jivadina ki karibe tahara varnana sakha chandra nyaya kari digdarshana. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What can a poor creature like me describe of those transformations? I can give only a hint of them, as if showing the moon through the branches of a tree. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hari Bol. Very nice.
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji, very beautiful verses. So, in verse 61, we are reading that the mood of Lord Chaitanya of separation, where he's saying that, where shall I go? Where can I find Krishna? Please tell me, I'll go there. And in saying this, he just starts running. But Sarup Damodar Goswami catches him and takes him on his lap. And he brought him back to his place, made him sit down. And then we have read earlier that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to be in different kind of consciousness. Sometimes he would be totally in a different place altogether, completely oblivious of his surroundings. Then at sometimes he was partly conscious of his surroundings and partly in the ecstasy, and at times he would be completely in an ecstatic mood and oblivious to his surroundings completely. So now he's coming back to external consciousness. So he was completely in that mood, and now he comes back to external consciousness, and he says to Sarup Damodar Goswami that you please sing some sweet songs. So it's not like he was in ecstasy and now he's back and suddenly he'll do anything materialistic. No, now coming back to external consciousness also, he wants to just hear about Krishna. So he's asking for some sweet songs to be sung by Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, and the Lord's ears were satisfied when he heard Swarup Damodar sing songs from the Geet Govind and those by the poet Vidyapati. So the Lord and his great devotees, the Lord is in the mood of a devotee, right? So he's showing that what is the state of consciousness of a devotee. Like, sometimes when we are in the sadhak stage and we are beginners, then there will be times when we are engaged in devotional activities, and then we come out of it and do other things and back forth like this. There are different things in our life when we are in the Krishna conscious activity mood, and then there are other times when we are doing other things. But those devotees who are completely absorbed, who are in that mood of love for the Lord, for them it's just continuous. It's not like they take a break from Krishna conscious activities. Everything they do, their consciousness is completely into Krishna. Like once His Grace Among Lila Prabhu was telling about His Holiness Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, that he had come to the Dwarka temple, and then obviously when he comes, a lot of devotees come to meet him. And then it was announced that now Maharaj will not meet anyone because he's going to rest. So Prabhu was saying that what was rest for Maharaj? He was sitting and he was chanting. So it's not like, he's coming out of that Krishna conscious mood at any time. For him, chanting is also resting. So that is the state. So Mahaprabhu, he is in the mood of remembrance of Krishna, and now he just wants to hear about Krishna. So when he hears about the from Gita Govinda and verses by the poet Vidyapati, so that's where it's mentioned Juda Ilakana. That means his ears become satisfied. And it's mentioned now that each day and night he would become deranged in this way and talk like a madman. So his consciousness was so totally absorbed in Lord Krishna that he would externally appear to be like a mad person. And this comparison comes many times, that Ananta Dev can also not describe fully the pastimes of Lord Krishna, and for Lord Chaitanya also it is mentioned that even Ananta Dev, who possesses thousands of mouths, cannot fully describe the ecstatic transformations that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced in a single day. So Ananta Dev, he has thousands of mouths, but he starts describing with his thousands of mouths also. He cannot describe the experiences, the transformations that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was experiencing in a single day. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says that what can a poor creature like me describe of those transformations then? If Ananta Dev cannot, how can I? I can only give a hint of them as if showing the moon through the branches of a tree. So it is just, he's saying that what I'm saying is just a hint of what actually was taking place. Okay, moving forward.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
This
Mataji,
book
Hare
Gita
Krishna.
Govinda, is there any special song?
Mataji, Gita Govinda is by Srila Jaydev Goswami. So it's about the pastimes between Lord Krishna and Radharani. So that Madhurya
Okay.
mood. Yeah.
Okay. Is it okay if we listen to those songs?
Actually, I have heard that it is generally not prescribed that initially we read that, because all the verses are of a very esoteric nature. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why in ISKCON we don't really see Geet Govinda
Okay.
being.
Okay. Good I asked you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji. Next, Chandana Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranams.
Chandana Mataji.
Text 66. Ihai shunetara judaya manakana alaukika guda prema cheshta haya gnana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This description, however, will satisfy the mind and ears of anyone who hears it, and he will be able to understand these uncommon activities of deep ecstatic love for Krishna. Text 67. अद्भुता निगूढ प्रेमेरा माधुर्य महिमा आपनीय स्वादि प्रभु देखाइला सीमा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ecstatic love for Krishna is wonderfully deep. By personally tasting the glorious sweetness of that love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us its extreme limit. Text 68. अद्भुत दयालु चैतन्य अद्भुत वदान्य आई चे दयालु दाता लोके नाही शून्य. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is wonderfully merciful and wonderfully magnanimous. We have heard of no one else within this world so merciful and charitable. Text 69. Sarva bhave bhaja loka chaitanya charana yaha haite paibe Krishna prematha dhana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O people of the world, worship the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all respects. Only in this way will you achieve the nectarian treasure of ecstatic love for Krishna. Text 70. Eita kahinu kurma kriti anubhava unmada cheshtita tate unmada pralapa. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus I have described Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic transformation of becoming like a tortoise. In that ecstasy, He talked and acted like a madman. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here we are reading that this description, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that it's not possible to fully describe them. Even Anantadev cannot do it. So what can I? I'm just giving a hint. But still, when we read this description, even though it is not the entire thing, but this description will satisfy the mind and ears of anyone who hears it, and he will be able to understand these uncommon activities of deep ecstatic love for Krishna. Haribol, that's such a wonderful verse. And when he says that ecstatic love for Krishna is wonderfully deep, by personally tasting the glorious sweetness of that love, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us its extreme limit. So through Mahaprabhu's behavior, the transformations that he's experiencing, we see that how how strong is Krishna Prem. That when it is there in someone's heart, then this body, which is actually material, Lord Chaitanya's body is not material, it is spiritual. But we have to understand that this body, which is made up of material elements, it actually cannot fully take that love. That's why devotees say that when one experiences that love, the devotees who experience that love, sometimes they faint, or they cry out of ecstasy, because this body is not able to take that deep saturated love for Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he's showing these uncommon activities of deep ecstatic love for Krishna. It is very deep, and Mahaprabhu is tasting that sweetness, and he's showing us its extreme limit. And definitely, like this was so true, Mahaprabhu is wonderfully merciful and wonderfully magnanimous. There is no one else who's so merciful and charitable as the Lord. He is just giving out the mercy without seeing whether one is qualified or not. Patra na dekhe, patra na dekhe. He doesn't see who is qualified, who is not. He's just freely giving out this mercy, because the mood is of Radharani, of the mother, who is so merciful. And so, the people of the world should worship the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all respects. Only in this way will you achieve the nectarian treasure of ecstatic love for Krishna. So, by accepting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can get the nectar of ecstatic love for Krishna. And then he says that thus I have described Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic transformation of becoming like a tortoise. In that ecstasy, he talked and acted like a madman. So externally, it seemed like he was a mad person, but he's experiencing those deep ecstasies. Okay, so, yeah. Let's move to 71 onwards. This chapter is about to get over. Chandra Rekha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranamam. Mataji, this thing? Third, Antya
This is
Lila?
Antya Lila, chapter 17, verse number 71.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Because I'm reading in iPad. I'm not able to see here the screen. That is why.
Okay.
91, is it?
71, Mataji.
71. Okay, sorry.
Antya Lila, 17th chapter, 71st verse. Others are able to see the screen, right? Screen share?
Yes, Mataji, we can
Yes,
see.
Mataji, we can see.
Yes, Mataji.
Ei Lila Swagranthe Raghunatha Dasa Gaurangastava Kalpa Vrikshe Kairachena Prakasha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Srila Raghunatha Dasa Goswami has fully described this pastime in his book Gauranga Stava Kalpa Vriksha. Text 72. Anudghataya dvara trayam uruchabhiti trayam aho vilangyacha ka kalingika surabhimadye nipatita Shanudhyat sankochat kamatha iva krishnoru virahat Virajan Gaurango Hridaya Udayan Mam Madhayati. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. How wonderful it is! Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left his residence without opening the three strongly bolted doors. Then he crossed over three high walls. And later, because of strong feelings of separation from Krishna, he fell down amidst the cows of the Tailanga district and retracted all the limbs of his body like a tortoise. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared in that way, rises in my heart and maddens me. Text 73. Oh my God. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asa Chaitanya Charitamruta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadasa, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrutam, following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Mahacharitamrutam, Antya Lila, 17th chapter, describing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime of retracting his limbs like a tortoise. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that Srila Raghunath Das Goswami has fully described this pastime in his book Gauranga Stava Kalpa Vriksha. So, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami had heard all these pastimes from Raghunath Das Goswami, and he always gives credit that I am not qualified to narrate these pastimes, but I have heard from one who has actually seen these pastimes and authorized source, and that is why I'm able to attempt this. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually, the devotees would be very worried about him that, what will Mahaprabhu do if he's just, if he goes in that ecstatic mood. So sometimes they would just, keep him under doors and they would guard so that Mahaprabhu doesn't get into any harm. I mean, this is out of their love. But he was able to leave his residence without opening the three strongly bolted doors. He was able to cross over three high walls, and later, because of strong feelings of separation from Krishna, he fell down amidst the cows of the Telanga district and retracted all the limbs of his body like a tortoise. So one night, the devotees thought that he's resting inside, but then Mahaprabhu was able to just leave the room and come out, and in his ecstasy he fell down amidst the cows also, and he retracted all his limbs in such a way that he started looking like a tortoise. So then in the last verse of this chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is praying that I'm praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, and I desire their mercy. And in this mood, he is narrating Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. So this is the end of 17th chapter. We'll move on to chapter 18, which is about rescuing the Lord from the sea. So all these chapters, the theme is of what all is happening when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going in that mood of ecstasy, what all pastimes are taking place. So we'll read 1 to 5. Swati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Is it
Mataji.
Jagannath Puri ocean?
Yes,
Beach
yes,
side?
yes, Mataji. Yes, that
That's
ocean.
fine. Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Swati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Pranam.
Dhanot
Pranam.
शरज्योत्स्ना सिन्धुर् अवखाल्यानजातयमुना रमाधावन्योऽस्मिन् हरि विरहतापर्णव इव निमग्नो मुच्छलापायसि निवासन् रात्रिम् अखिलं प्रभाते प्राप्तस्वैरवतु सची सुनुर् इहानः. Translation by Shla Prabhupada ki Jai. In the brilliant autumn moonlight, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mistook the sea for the river Yamuna, greatly afflicted by the separation from Krishna. He ran and dove into the sea and remained unconscious in the water the entire night. In the morning, he was found by his personal devotees. May that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi, protect us by his transcendental pastimes. Text 2. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Translation by Shla Prabhupada ki Jai. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 3. यही माते महाप्रभु नीलाचल वैसे रात्रि दिने कृष्ण विच्छेदर नवे भासे. Translation by Shla Prabhupada ki Jai. While thus living at Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu floated all day and night in the ocean of separation from Krishna. Text 4. शरद कालेरा रात्रि सबा चंद्रिका उज्ज्वल प्रभु निज घन लाना घड़न रात्रि सकला. Translation by Shla Prabhupada ki Jai. During a night of the autumn season, when a full moon brightened everything, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered all night along with his devotees. Text 5. उद्याने उद्याने ब्रह्मेण कौतुक देखिते रासलीला रचिता श्लोका पढ़िते सुनीते. Translation by Shla Prabhupada ki Jai. He walked from garden to garden, seeing the pastimes of Lord Krishna and hearing and reciting songs and verses concerning the Rasa Leela. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So these verses we are reading what was happening with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he, in his mood of ecstasy, he mistook the river to be, the sea to be river Yamuna, and he ran and dove into the sea in that afflicted by the separation from Krishna, and he remained unconscious in the water the entire night. And in the morning only he was found by his personal devotees. So the whole night Mahaprabhu was just not conscious of the externals. He was so absorbed in the mood of separation. So all glories to Lord Chaitanya, to Nityanand Prabhu, to Advaita Acharya, and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And he was, this literally also he was floating in the ocean, and otherwise also he was floating in the ocean of separation from Krishna day and night. And here actually in the ocean he was there. And this is during a night of the autumn season when the moon brightened everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered all night along with his devotees, and he was walking from garden to garden, seeing the pastimes of Lord Krishna and hearing and reciting songs and verses concerning the Rasa Leela. So it is during that autumn season that the Rasa Leela had taken place. So the same feeling, the same kind of pastimes Lord Chaitanya is remembering and reciting songs and verses about the Rasa Leela. So in this way, Mahaprabhu is spending his days. Okay. Next
Mataji,
up.
it is like a gopis only, no Mataji. While Krishna disappeared from Rasa Leela, they also search for like that only.
Correct, Mataji. They were also searching for Krishna in all the groves, and that's what Mahaprabhu is also doing. Yes, Mataji. Okay, next, Shobha Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Krishnaraj Kaviraj Gosam ki Jai. Text 6. Prabhu Prema Avesha Karena Ghana Nardana Kabu Pava Avesha Rasa Leelano Karana. Translation, synonyms and translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. He sang and danced in ecstatic love and sometimes imitated the rasa dance in emotional ecstasy. Text 7. Kabhu bha avon mathe prabhu iti utithaya bhume padi kabhu murcha kabhu gadi ayaya. Yaya. Translation. He sometimes ran here and there in the madness of ecstasy and sometimes fell and rolled on the ground. Sometimes he became completely unconscious. Text 8. Rasa Lila Eka Shloka Yabe Pade Sune Purva Purvavat Tabe Artha Karena Apane. Translation. When he heard Swarupa Damodara recite a verse concerning the Rasalila, or he himself recited one, he would personally explain it as he had previously done. Text 9. Yeyi Mata Rasalilaya Haya Yata Shloka Sabhara Arthakare Paya Kabu Harsha Shoka. Translation. In this way, he explained the meanings of all the verses concerning the Rasalila. Sometimes he would be very sad and sometimes very happy. Text 10. Sesabha shlokera artha, sesabha vikhara, sesabha vartine grandha, haya ati visthara. Translation. To explain fully all those verses and all the transformations that took place in the Lord's body would require a very long volume, large volume. Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavad.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, this is during the autumn season, and Mahaprabhu is going from garden to garden and he's singing, he's dancing in ecstatic love, sometimes imitating the rasa dance. And he's sometimes running here and there in the madness of ecstasy, sometimes falling on the ground, rolling on the ground. Sometimes he became completely unconscious also. And when he heard Sarup Damodar recite a verse concerning the Rasa Leela, or he himself recited one, he would personally explain it as he had previously done. So he was also explaining the verses, explaining the mood. And in this way, he explained the meaning of all verses concerning the Rasa Leela. And sometimes he would be very sad, sometimes very happy. So the different moods that he's experiencing, the fluctuations he's experiencing, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that if I had to describe all the transformations that took place in the Lord's body, that would require a very large volume. So I was hearing one Prabhu saying that what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written is he has condensed all those things, because if he writes everything, all the transformations or all the different pastimes, then the volume would become very huge. So he was saying that this is also our fortune and misfortune. It is our fortune that, okay, the volume is in such a size that we can attempt to read it, but it is also our misfortune that we are not able to read about all the different things that happened. So it is also good in a way, but sad in a way that we are not able to read about everything. But in Kali Yuga, we have our own limitations, and our acharyas know that. So they have given us the literatures, the scriptures in such a way, considering that. Yeah, next up, Chandana Mataji. Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
Text 11. द्वादशवत्सरे ये लीला क्षणे क्षणे अति बाहुल्य भाये ग्रंथा नाकाये लुलिखाने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So as not to increase the size of this book, I have not written about all the Lord's pastimes, for he performed them every moment of every day for 12 years. Text 12. पूर्वे इधे कायची दिग्दर्शना तायचे जानिहा विकारा प्रलाप वर्णना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As I have previously indicated, I am describing the mad speeches and bodily transformations of the Lord only in brief. Text 13. Sahasravadaneya be kahaye ananta eka dinera lila re tabu nahi paya anta. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If Ananta with his 1000 hoods tried to describe even one day's pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would find them impossible to describe fully. Text 14. कोटि युग पर्यंत यदि लिखाये गणेशा एका दिनेरा लीला रताबू नहीं पाया शेषा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
If Ganesha, Lord Shiva's son, and the expert scribe of the demigods tried for millions of millenniums to fully describe one day of the Lord's pastimes, he would be unable to find their limit. Text 15. Bhaktera prema vikara dekhi Krishnera chamatkara Krishna yara napayanta ke bachara ara. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Even Lord Krishna is struck with wonder at seeing the transformations of ecstasy in his devotees. If Krishna himself cannot estimate the limits of such emotions, how could others? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So again, Kaviraj Goswami is saying that he doesn't want to increase the size of this book, and that's why he's not written about all the Lord's pastimes, for he performed them every moment of every day for 12 years while he was in Puri. So again, that same thing that we are missing out on reading about all the pastimes, so that at least the book is of such a size that we can attempt. Otherwise, even now we may get a little overwhelmed. So some at least now we can attempt to read. Otherwise, if it is too voluminous, people might not even attempt to read. So he says that as I have previously indicated, I am describing the mad speeches and bodily transformations of the Lord only in brief. These are just very brief descriptions, just very in brief he is describing that. And again, this comparison with Anandadev, that even he cannot describe with 1000 hoods, he cannot describe even one day's pastimes. So it is impossible to describe it fully. And even Lord Ganesha, who is a scribe of the demigods, if he tried for millions of millenniums to fully describe one day of the Lord's pastimes, he would be unable to find their limit. So these verses are coming to help us understand that how great and extensive the Lord's pastimes actually are. And I'm reminded that once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was addressing all the devotees who were doing the transcription seva. And Maharaj was saying that the first transcription seva was actually done by Lord Ganesha, because he was writing everything that was being spoken by Srila Vyasadeva. And in text 15, he says that even Lord Krishna is struck with wonder at seeing the transformations of ecstasy in his devotees. So if Lord Krishna cannot fully describe those emotions, then how can anyone else describe that? Okay, so this helps us understand that the bhakti devotion is so great that when a devotee is experiencing those emotions, even the Lord is not able to fully describe it. Okay, moving forward. Uttam Padmadevi Devidasi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Text 16 and 17. Bhakta prema rayata dasha ei gati prakara yata dukkha yata sukha yateka vikara krishnataha samyatna pare dhanati bhakta bhave angikare taha ashwadite. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna himself cannot fully understand the conditions, the mode of progress, the happiness and the unhappiness, and the moods of ecstatic love of his devotees. He therefore accepts the role of a devotee to taste these emotions fully. Text 18. Krishnera nachaya prema, bhaktera nachaya, apane nachaye thine, nache kathai. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Ecstatic love of Krishna makes Krishna and his devotees dance, and it also dances personally. In this way, all three dances together in one place. Text 19. Premara vikara varnite chahe dhana chanda dharite chahe ena haya vamana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. One who wants to describe the transformation of ecstatic love of Krishna is like a dog trying to catch the moon in the sky. Text 20. Yayi che sindhu jalera hare eka karna Krishna prema karna teche jivera sparshana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
As the wind can carry away but a drop of water in the ocean, a living entity can touch only a particle of the ocean of love of Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna
yes.
Mataji. I have to leave the class now. I have to go to doctors.
Okay.
Okay.
Please
I'll
take
catch
care.
up with the video. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So, even Lord Krishna cannot fully understand the conditions, the happiness, the mood of his devotees. And that's why Lord Krishna takes his form as a devotee, right? Because he wants to understand what his devotees are actually feeling, what Radharani is actually feeling, what deep love she has in her heart. And what happens when one experiences love for Krishna? They dance, and Krishna dances, and the Krishna Prem also dances. So ecstatic love of Krishna makes Krishna and his devotees dance, and ecstatic love also dances. So all three are dancing together in one place. So one who wants to describe the transformations of ecstatic love of Krishna is like a dwarf trying to catch the moon in the sky. So a dwarf cannot catch the moon in the sky, and that is why it's not in the same way, it's not possible to describe the transformations that come when one experiences ecstatic love for Krishna. And then in verse 20, we read that as the wind can carry away but a drop of water in the ocean, a living entity can touch only a particle of the ocean of love of Krishna. So Krishna Prem is so deep and vast that we can just touch only a particle of the ocean of love of Krishna. Okay. Yeah. Next. Swati Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 21. क्षण क्षण उते प्रेमेरा तरंग अनंत जीवचारा कहांतरा पाइबेका अंत. Translation by Prabhupada CJ. Endless waves arise moment after moment in that ocean of love. How could an insignificant living entity estimate their limits? Text 122. Sri Krishna Chaitanya yaha karena aswadhana sabhe eka jane taha swarupa vidhana. Translation by Prabhupada CJ. Only a person on the level of Sarup Damodar Goswami can fully know what Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes his love for Krishna. Jivahana kare sahara varnana aparna sodite tara chodye eka khana. Translation by Prabhupada CJ. When an ordinary living entity describes the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he purifies himself by touching one drop of that great ocean. Text 24. Yei mata rasaira shloka sakala ei padila sheshe jala kelira shloka padite lagila. Translation by Prabhupada CJ. Thus all the verses about Raslila dance were recited. Then finally the words concerning the pastimes in the water was recited. Text 25. Sabir utastramam apohitum angasanga grahasta sajja sakucha kumkumaranjitaha gandharva palibhir anudruta aspadvaha Sanato Ghajibir Iva Bhinna Setuhu. Translation by Prabhupada CJ. An independent leader among elephants enters the water with its female elephant. Krishna, who is transcendental to the Vedic principles of morality, entered the water of the Yamuna with the gopis. His chest had brushed against their breast, crushing his flower garland and coloring it with red kunkuma powder. Attracted by the fragrance of that garland, humming bumblebees followed Krishna like celestial beings of Gandharva Loka. In this way, Lord Krishna mitigated the fatigue of rasa dance. Purport: this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.33.22. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So in this section, we are reading that endless waves arise moment after moment in that ocean of love. So the love is described is compared to an ocean, and like the ocean has lots of waves, the love also has lots of waves. So how could an insignificant living entity estimate their limit? So there is no limit, that one cannot understand the limit of love for Krishna. So Rup Damodar Goswami, he is at such an elevated level. He can fully know what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes in his love for Krishna. So only someone of the caliber of Sarup Damodar Goswami, only he can understand. An ordinary living entity cannot describe it fully. So then someone may ask that, okay, you are saying that even Ananta Shesh cannot describe the pastimes fully, even Lord Ganesha cannot do that. Then how can you do it? Someone may ask that question to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So he is saying that, why is he then trying to describe? Because he's saying that this is for our own purification. So he says that when an ordinary living entity describes the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he purifies himself by touching one drop of that great ocean. So yes, he is definitely not an ordinary person, but out of his humility, he is saying that when one tries to describe, that is for their own purification. Thus, all the verses about the Ras Leela were recited. Then, finally, the verse concerning the pastimes in the water was recited. So, this is that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33 22, where, like an elephant enters the water with his female elephants. Krishna, he entered the waters of the Yamuna with the gopis, and those descriptions are given here. And this entering in the water, it mitigated the fatigue of the rasa dance. Okay. Yeah. Next 5 verses. Kripa Mai Sita Devi Dasi Mataji.
Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Text 26. Yehi mata Mahaprabhu Brahmati Ayi tota haite Samudra dekina akambite. Translation Prabhupada KJ. While thus wandering near the temple of Ayitota, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly saw the sea. Text 27. Chandrakante Uchalita Taranga Ujjwala Jalamala Kare Ena Yamunara Jala. Translation Prabhupada KJ. Brightened by the shining light of the moon, high waves of the sea glittered like the waters of the river Yamuna. Text 28. Yamunara Brahme Prabhu Dana Chalila Alakshitya Sindhu Jale Jahanpa Dila. Translation by Prabhupada KJ. Mistaking the sea for the Yamuna, the Lord ran swiftly and jumped into the water unseen by the others. Text 29. Padite Haila Muracha Kichuna Chani Kabu Dubaya Kabu Basaya Tarangera Gani. Translation by Prabhupada KJ. Falling into the sea, he lost consciousness and could not understand where he was. Sometimes he sank beneath the waves and sometimes he floated above them. Text 30. Tarangi Bakia Pire Yena Suka Kasta Kei Bujiti Pare Ei Chaitanya Irenata. Translation by Prabhupada KJ. The waves carried him here and there like a piece of dry wood. Who can understand this dramatic performance by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank,
Mataji.
thank you, Mataji.
So Mahaprabhu was wandering near the temple of Aitota, and he sees the sea, and the high waves of the sea were glittering in the moonlight just like the river Yamuna. So Mahaprabhu mistakes the sea to be Yamuna, and he runs swiftly, very fast, and he jumps into the sea, and nobody saw that happening. And when he falls into the sea, he loses consciousness. He could not understand where he was. Sometimes he was going under the waves, sometimes he was floating above them, and he was being carried by the waves just like a piece of dry wood. So this is all dramatic performance of the Lord. So Kaviraj Goswami is saying that who can understand this dramatic performance by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Next, Chandra-Rekha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes. Text 31. कोणार्के रदिके प्रभु रे तारंगे लाना या कभू दुबाना रखे काबू भाषाना लाना या. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Keeping the Lord sometimes submerged and sometimes afloat, the waves carried him toward the Konark temple. Konarka, generally known as Arkha Tirtha, is a temple of Lord Surya, the sun god. It is situated on the seashore 19 miles north of Jagannath Puri. It was constructed of black stone in the beginning of the 13th century of the Saka era, and it shows expert craftsmanship and architecture. Text 32. यमुना ते जला केली गोपी गाना संगे कृष्ण करे न महाप्रभु magna se range. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fully immersed in the pastimes. Lord Krishna performed with the gopis in waters of the Yamuna. Text 33. इहान स्वरूपादि गाना प्रभु न देखिया कहान गेला प्रभु काहे cham ki tahana. Meanwhile, all the devotees headed by Swarup Damodara lost sight of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Astonished, they began searching for him, asking, "Where has the Lord gone?" मनोवेगे गेला प्रभु देखी ते मारी नारीला प्रभु रे ना देखिया समस्या करी ते लागिला. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had run off at the speed of the mind. No one could see him. Thus, everyone was puzzled as to his whereabouts. Text 35. जगन्नाथ देखिते कि बा देवाला ये गेला अन्य उद्याने की बा उन्मादे पादिला. Has the Lord gone to the temple of Jagannath, or has he fallen down in madness in some garden?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, for those who have been to Puri, you can imagine that Puri and Konark, the temple, these are, I mean, it's not just next to each other. There is a distance, right? But Mahaprabhu was floating and the waves were carrying him toward the Konark temples. That is some distance away. And like Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that Konark, generally known as Arkatirtha, is a temple of Lord Surya. It's a very beautiful, architecturally very important place, and it's in black stone at the beginning of the 13th century of the Shaka era. It was constructed, and it shows expert craftsmanship and architecture. It's very, very beautiful. And so it is situated on the seashore 19 miles north of Jagannath Puri. It's a good distance away. But from Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was floating towards the Konark temple. And he was fully immersed in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, which the pastimes which Lord Krishna was performing with the gopis in the waters of the Yamuna. So, as the pastimes of the Lord are progressing, we see that his absorption in Lord Krishna's pastimes has become more and more, right? So here now he's in the water, so he's totally absorbed in the pastimes of Lord Krishna with the gopis in the water. And now this is where the Lord is. But in Puri, all the devotees headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami, they cannot see Lord Chaitanya. So they are all thinking, where has the Lord gone? Where has the Lord gone? They're all very worried, looking for the Lord. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had run off at the speed of the mind, so no one could see him. No one had actually seen that the Lord has gone and jumped in the sea. So they are all very puzzled as to where has the Lord gone, and they are thinking that okay, maybe the Lord has gone to the temple of Lord Jagannath, or has he fallen down in some garden in madness? They are totally bewildered and out of answers as to where the Lord could be. So they'll start looking for the Lord, and that is what we'll read about tomorrow. Today we'll stop at verse 35. So if anyone has any questions, any comments, any realizations, or anything you would like to add, then we can have
Hare
that
Krishna,
now.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
That very interesting point you have left, Mataji, today.
Yes, Mataji. What it cliffhanger? It's called a cliffhanger. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we are leaving at a cliffhanger so that we all come tomorrow and read.
We're
Yes.
so anxious to know what happens next.
Very interesting. What will happen is also very
Yeah.
interesting. So please do come tomorrow and we'll read that
Okay,
section.
Mataji. Sure.
Okay. Okay. So thank you all for joining. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्णा, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। Thank you all for joining. See you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, Dhanyavad
Hare
Pranam,
Krishna,
and thank you,
Dhanyavad
Mataji.
Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Pranam.